never compare myself like, oh, I've got to get as big as Samson. That's a delusion then if I say that. You know what? I've been around these guys so much where it makes me realize the gaps in my armor, not from a physique perspective, but from an execution perspective.
I think the reason that I don't finish the books is because they are all business or self-improvement, and I'll find something in it. I'll read one thing that clicks, and I'm like, I need to go implement that right now.
I will not open another book until I've completed the task that I'm on, because that's the discipline that
All right, welcome back to Business Brains and Bronze podcast, episode number 17. I'm here joined with my boys today, Taylor Moore, Mike Croson, and myself, IFBB Pro Nick Justice. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, guys, Taylor, glad to have you this week. Last week, you had to leave randomly because you had to become the superhero for the day. But anyway, man, how's life been? How are things going with you, bro?
Good, man. Yeah, just getting back into, I've gotten in, dude, it's like been just like so much going on with the business and maintaining the coaching. And like last week, my fiance locked herself out of a car and had to run and get her. She ended up, I found out that she got a druggie's phone to call me because she was at this podunk ass car wash and nobody else was around, not to call me, to call my grandma, because the only reason or the only number she had memorized is my grandma's, because she uses that for her rewards points at the grocery store. And so that happened, and now she's got a tooth infection. So we've been like going back and forth because the OBGYN didn't want to prescribe her medicine that has to do with the tooth because they didn't know, they're not a dentist, but the dentist didn't want to prescribe her anything or do anything because she's pregnant. So I had some azithromycin at the house, and I was just like, here, take this. It's approved. The OBGYN said you could take it, just take it. So she's feeling a little bit better now. Probably like 6 weeks out from having the baby. Yeah, so we go do a growth scan tomorrow because the medical industry is so crazy. So she went to do her glucose test, which is basically where they test to see if you have gestational diabetes or whatever, because it's so common. And she got sick, and because they make you drink that sugary drink or whatever, and you have to drink it in a certain amount of time and then sit there for an hour, and then they have to do your bloods or whatever. But she got sick as soon as she drank it and threw up all over herself. So she was like, hell no, I'm never drinking that again. I'll just prick my finger 4 times a day for the next 2 weeks. So she did that. And then I don't even know, it was like 5 out of the whatever 14 times 4 readings are over those 2 weeks were high, and they were her fasting blood sugars. So they're like, oh, well, you might have gestational diabetes. So we have to see a specialist tomorrow for that. And then we had to go sit and talk to a registered dietitian so that she could explain to us for a fucking hour about what proteins, carbs, and fats are. And I'm like, bro. So me being not a smart ass, but pushing back a little bit, I was asking her questions that hey, you're not actually as smart as you're trying to make yourself seem. So I started asking her questions, and she looked at me and said, so who are you again? And I was like, her fiance and the baby's dad. What do you mean, who am I? So anyways, sit there and listen to that bullshit for a little while. I don't know, man. It's so confusing. I think it's just a money racket because her blood sugars are perfectly fine. Every fasting sugar is below 100. What you would expect out of someone who eats the way that she eats and drinks Dr. Pepper throughout the day and stuff. Her postprandial readings, some of them are in the upper 80s, lower 90s. Some of them are if she eats something crazy, we went and had Mexican for dinner, and then she tested it 2 hours later, and it was 114 or something. And I'm like, it should be that. That's exactly what it should be.
Completely fine.
Yeah, after 3 or 4 meals throughout the day before going to bed. But they're like, yeah, but we don't really pay attention to your postprandial readings as much as we do your fasted. And I was like, so what's the point in pricking your finger 4 times a day if you're only looking at one of them?
And at the end of the day, bro, you wake up fasted. Okay, yeah, that's still important. But what's equally as important is okay, 2 hours after you eat, how is your body processing shit?
Yeah, exactly. So listen to this. I was like, I try to tell Grayson, like, you need to drink 20 ounces of water before you take your reading. You need to wait 15 minutes after you drink the water, et cetera, et cetera. Everything we tell people to check their fasted blood glucose. So she doesn't always do that because she's like, well, the doctor told me I didn't have to. So then we went to, when we were talking to her OB or the nurse practitioner at the OBGYN, we were like, she was like, yeah, your fasting sugars are high. And I was like, so does that not have to do with like she's not hydrated. So obviously they're going to be higher. And she's like, oh no, that doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with it. And I'm like, oh my God, you went to school for 6 years to not know the simplest shit. But anyways, so we went the other day and they're like, yeah, we're really, it's really just your fasting sugars. We want to make sure that you're eating some protein before bed to delay that digestion and keep your blood sugar more controlled throughout the night. That way your fasting wakes up, or when you wake up, your fasting is a little bit lower. And she was like, so you can have like a piece of cheese or something like that. And we left and I was like, Grayson, this bitch doesn't even know that a piece of cheese isn't protein. It's a fat. Like, and I get what she was saying, but it's just like, oh my God. So
Dude,
yeah, anyways.
I don't want to drag on to it, but like I want to touch on that a little bit because my girlfriend just graduated with her master's in nursing. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Hey,
once
Nick,
she
is it,
and
hold up.
clacks,
You're like, yours volume's like really low.
shit, how's this?
Yeah, it's good on
Is this
mine.
better?
It's better. It's just low.
Better. Let me see. Hold on one sec. Let me get this tab out here. Yeah, it's not picking me up a whole lot. Let me try this. All right, how about when I'm talking this loud? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, that. But anyway, so like my girlfriend just graduated with her master's in nursing. So she got to take the NCLEX, then she's a registered nurse. And then she eventually wants to go and get a doctorate in nurse practitioning. So and I asked her, I'm like, what's the point of like going to get all this schooling? And at the end of the day, you know that a lot of the shit that they're teaching you is outdated. It's not about preventative medicine, and it's all about just treating symptomology. And she was like, because at the end of the day, she explained this to me, which I totally agree. And I kind of knew it, but she explained it in a better way. She said, the system is purposely meant to create individuals that are, again, going to treat the symptom. They don't create individuals that want to practice their own way. Because most people that become a nurse, what do? They go work in a hospital or a clinical setting. They don't take the extra steps to become, to get the certifications and to become a doctor or a nurse practitioner to open up their own practice so that they can practice however they want. So if nobody wants to be in school for 6+ years, they just get thrown into the system, continuing to treat symptoms, not preventative. Because bro, when she was in nursing school, the amount of time, I think she had half a semester, she had a nutrition class, half of a semester. Bro, the first 2 weeks of her school when she first started, first 2 weeks was all about inclusive language for transgenders. And she's $90,000 in fucking debt because of that.
So
Like it pisses me off, dude, especially too when like Grayson's pregnant. You should be giving her accurate information. Like that goes to show you how things have failed within the education system.
yeah, 100%. And I had this talk the other day with my business partner and with Grayson. It's like they're so good at regurgitating. So basically what they do is they just, all the schooling and everything like that is just, think of it like AI. If you teach AI something, it's gonna take a use case and it's not gonna necessarily like think outside the box. It's just gonna give you what it knows. And that's the way the medical industry is set up. And there's very few people that actually develop their own. So I compared it to coaching, right? We hire mentors. We've always hired mentors, and we hire a bunch of different mentors, and we learn what they do, how they do it, etc. And every coach has their way of doing something, right? Like, so, instead of using that way of doing it and using the knowledge that they're given and then developing their own quote practice off of it and their own methodologies like we do as coaches, they're just like straight and narrow. This is what's happening. This is the medicine that gets prescribed type of thing. And it's just a protocol. It's not a critical thinking type of deal, like where they're developed. So I feel like, like people like your girlfriend going and getting their nurse practice their nurse practitioner degree, like, is great, because then we can have more people to develop their own methodology and actually think outside the box and help treat people. And to be honest, I had this talk earlier. I think nurse practitioners are going to be like I think in the future, this might be like far-fetched, but I think in the future, doctors are going to have AIs that have all of their knowledge and protocols and stuff like that and what to do and when. And then nurse practitioners just going to do everything and the doctors are kind of going to step away, which could be good and bad. But like nurse practitioners have so much power. I've learned since I've been in this HRT space, like they can do so much.
Bro, they're the ones that like this is wild. Doctors will be there. They'll come into the room, whatever, clinical setting, emergency room setting. And no, I coach doctors. Like I've got a guy in an emergency room doctor that is in contest prep. Okay. And he openly says that the nurses literally do all the work. He comes in, sees what's going on, double checks to make sure people are doing things correct. You know, if he's got to do a procedure, he does that right there. He helps people learn, etc. Walks out, next room. Okay. So it's like, the nurses are the ones that are literally going through the shit. If something goes wrong, like a doctor prescribes, or a doctor like approves a prescription, and then the nurse goes ahead and does it, the doctor doesn't get sued. The fucking nurse does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And even like as a nurse practitioner, they don't even need the doctor. Like they can do all the prescribing and everything themselves. I think with the realm of functional health and all the clinics and the telehealth and the HRT stuff and everything, peptides, all of that's happening, nurse practitioners are going to make a lot of fucking money because they can start their own clinics. They can do all the prescribing. They can save, like, to be honest, bro, we would save probably 10 to 15% of our margins if I was a nurse practitioner, for example. We would save probably at least 15% of our margins based off of having to get a nurse practitioner to do a good faith exam and do the prescribing and stuff like that through our medical director network. Like we wouldn't have to pay for any of that. And that's anywhere from $35 to $55, depending on the medication, every time someone purchases anything through our clinic.
Right. Going back to what you said about like learning from different people, creating your own way. All right. Because like those nurse practitioners that want to eventually open up their own practice and be like, you know what, with this practice, there is going to be some degree of Western medicine. Okay. But I want to focus more on functional medicine and preventative care, et cetera. That is absolutely like, that's going to be the change that the world needs. On the coaching side, think about this, like Taylor, you know, when you and I were first mentored by Cam, I took J3 before I was mentored by Cam. Okay. Did you do the same?
Yep.
So throughout that time, even from J3, I've invested tons of money into mentors. Okay. Not everybody has to do that, but I'm a nerd for the knowledge. And I also know the levels of where I want to go to with coaching. Okay. Time and time again, questions get brought up to me from some of my other athletes that are coaches of, hey, I'm trying to do the safer use model with this client, with this drug, with this diet approach, et cetera. And sometimes people get too stuck in what they own. Like you only know what you know, you know what I'm saying? And they become too encompassed within, oh, this is how I originally learned. This is how I have to operate. This is my framework. And sometimes operating only in the confines of your framework can sometimes be detrimental. Not detrimental in terms of a bad way, but like more so what I'm trying to say is it can be like, you can kind of shoot yourself in the foot because one, you're not learning to think outside the box. Two, your client be able to get better results with a different modality, different technique, different approach, etc. But three, like there's no creativity in your mind as well, too. Like I had to tell a client, like he was going over a drug protocol with somebody or for a client, and I was going it over with him. And I said, why did you decide to do that? And he said, well, you know, this is how John Jewett likes doing it. This is like the safer use model. And I just feel more comfortable doing it this way. And I said, dude, that's completely fine. Like doing it more comfortable like that way. But like, let's look at the blood work. Let's look at the trends. He clearly, his body doesn't really metabolize things that well if you do it that way. So now you have to think outside the box. And now if you fail, you figure it out, okay, that didn't work. So it's like, I think sometimes coaches become way too stuck in their box and their framework. And it's kind of a red flag.
I mean, to be honest, like across all industries, like this is why I think the info space does so well these days with all the online coaches and everything like that, is because there's something you can learn from every single person, right? Like coaching, for example, I started with J3U. I read How to Be Your Own Bodybuilding Coach. I went through the Jordan Peters, you know, all the JP stuff and learned from all of them, and then that's when I hired Cam as a mentor, and I learned his ways of doing things, and then that's when I started working with Dom and learned his ways of doing things, and then that's when I started getting surrounded by people like Mike and stuff and learning their ways. And basically what I did was I nitpicked every little thing that I liked out of each person's methodologies and developed my own. In business, I've taken AI. I've done the AIA course. I've been a part of Austin Medlin's sales group. Mike has helped me a ton with business. And I basically nitpick all the little things that I like out of each person that I've learned from and develop my own way of doing things and knowledge. So that's why the info space does so well. And I think that like, if you're like straight and narrow on like, I'm going to follow exactly what this person's doing, they develop that methodology from somewhere if they're smart enough. So like at that point, it's not that you're doing anything like out of your own, like you're not a coach at that point. You're just regurgitating things, or you're not a businessman. You're just regurgitating.
Yep. 100%, dude. 100%.
I'm such a fan of when I go to events or I host events or I have people come in, I tell people like, I need you to just do one thing for me. I need you to grab one sentence. The difference of the one sentence is based on the experience of the person that hears the sentence. I can have a new coach come in, does less than 10 grand. They can hear a sentence and it can make them 10 grand. And then I can hear the same sentence and it can turn around, it can generate $1 million. The difference is how much leverage do you have behind that one sentence that you can pull? Yeah. But it's like, if you go to all these different events and you grab one sentence, it's like, got a
then
pretty sick paragraph here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But if it's just one person's sentences, it's like you're just a carbon copy of Alex Hormozi, but yet you don't look or have his tone, so it doesn't hit the same. It's like, maybe you need to pick up something from Taki Moore.
Yep.
Maybe you need some Gary Vee sprinkled in. Like, there are different things to pick up from different people, which is what I love about how do I word this? You can't be loyal to a fault to where you shut off your brain to other people.
100%.
Like, it's really hard to be like, well, no. This is the person I only learn anything from. And it's like, they're not the only one that's successful.
Yep.
Right. And it's like, if you find success there, what I typically find is somebody that finds success inside of a program, a great success, they'll learn from others because they're smart enough to know that there's more out there. A person that finds a little bit of success in somebody doesn't go anywhere else because they're like dead set loyal because it hasn't worked yet. And they just keep going. I was like, well, maybe that sentence you got from them isn't what you need.
Toxic loyalty.
All right. So let me ask you this, Mike. What's your opinion on too much? Like, at what point is it too much and you're learning from too many different peoples too many different people and causing paralysis by analysis because now you know too much? So,
great question. So shiny object syndrome is that we do 17 different things, right? Me and you've had this conversation many times of like, hey, I need you to go all in on one thing, right? And it's like, because if you try to divvy yourself, if you have 3 companies that you're trying to build, it's like the max you can give it is like 15 hours a week. It's like, great, you're part-time on a business and you expect it to do the same as if you were putting 60 hours to it. Like, it doesn't make sense. So when we take multiple things from other people, it's fine as long as they're all on the same path. When you have somebody says that you need to do high ticket and then somebody says you need to do low ticket, those are contradictory. If somebody says we need to focus on one-on-one, somebody says you need to focus on group, those go against each other. And so I think it's just trying to find a harmonious balance and knowing when to play that sentence or play that card and knowing when to hold. So you can't implement everything at once, even though something is great. Sometimes we have to wait before we do ads to get the foundation set. But you can't do both at the same time. So it's just about knowing when to implement what and start with a solid foundation. Yeah. Most people go towards the flashy thing that creates the most gasoline inside the business And that gets either A, it works, but you have a crappy foundation. So you want to pull your hair out because you don't know what the heck's going on because it's all new to you. But all of a sudden now you have 4 times the business and you absolutely hate it. Or your system or foundation is not set for the business. And then so when people do the ads, it's a waste of money because they come back to your page and your content sucks and you don't have, it's not optimized for cold traffic to land on it.
Mhm.
And so in the business world and coaching, especially, it's like I organically don't get that many people to sign up with me. I only get referrals, but I'm going to put money behind ads. It's like you suck organically, but I'm gonna now send money to Facebook and Instagram to pump me cold traffic, thinking it's going to be better than the people that have been following me for a long time. It's like you suck. You have to fix you suck before you put gas behind the thing that sucks.
Mhm.
Like I'm there. Like that's the funny thing about it is success actually has nothing to do with whether you suck at not at getting people organically.
Yeah.
Like I'm going around doing shows, shaking hands because I suck at content.
Mhm.
Brian Mark doesn't have to go shake hands. He's good at content.
Yep.
So for me, I can't take crappy content, put money behind it like he does to get the same return.
Exactly.
So
That's
it's
what
like
they
you got to find what works for you because it doesn't work for everybody the same.
Mhm. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. I think it's really cool. Yeah, just to like revert back a little bit on that original question, I found myself like at the end of the last year, I spent doing my taxes and everything. I spent $68,000 last year on continued education.
Oh boy.
And I was like, I'm glad I did it now for a write-off, but like I was also like, wow, that's too much. Like why did I do that? But then I started thinking, I was like, each person that I invested in their course or whatever it was kind of led to the next, and they have the same type of methodologies because it started with AIA. In January of last year, I signed up with AIA. After that I was like, okay, I need a CRM. That's when I got introduced to Mike and signed up with AR. Then I signed up with Austin Medlin. And then after that was John Whiting. And then I started thinking back and I was like, wait, all of these people work together in the same cohorts as well. So like Austin Medlin does sales training inside of AIA. John Whiting is the owner of AIA, Justin Saunders, mentor himself. And Mike and Austin Medlin comes to Mike's events. Like, and it's all, so I was like, it's not that I was like super diversified. So it doesn't matter that I was like, I wasn't like paralyzing myself because all of them like kind of lead back. They have their own
the
niche
stack.
inside of and then they stack on top of each other. So I'm glad I did that way, but it just made me think like you can't go learn your ways of doing things from Chris Aceto and then go also learn from John Jewett and expect that you're ever going to develop the same type of methodology out of those two. Like it's just not going to happen.
I think it's interesting here. It's like from a business perspective, like don't go to a real estate event and then go to a content ads event and then go to a coaching event. It's like, what are we focused on? Like either you need to do content and realty and put those together and become the realtor person that makes content, or you need to do content and coaching because you can't do both. And I think that's so important. I mean, I'll tell you, Tuesday, I'm going to Vegas for our second Alex Ramosi event. It cost me $45,000 for the day.
One of my good friends that is here at the clinic all the time. He's I've told you about him. He does the marketing for dog trainers. He's there right now at the workshop.
Nice.
Yep.
Is it the workshop or the single day?
No, it's the workshop.
So the one that went to, yeah. So
Yeah.
I had me, Felicity Baker go out there. That was 15,000 plus travel. So like that's 20 racks, and then now 45 for this one. It's like, man, he alone has gotten 65,000 for me in 90 days. I guess it's actually been closer to 6 months, but Yeah, dude. I find this so interesting when it comes to investing in yourself, because Taylor's very clear as you did. But like from a reading standpoint, I always find this interesting in the bodybuilding community. I didn't read my first book until I was 31.
Mhm.
And it was like I want to say it's when I started at 75 Hard, because you had to read. And a funny story about, I'll come back to 75 Hard, but it was like, I want to say it was Green Light by Matthew McConaughey, because it was like a book that somebody gave me. I don't think it was
So
like a
crazy you
golf
said
book. And then it turned into Jocko Willings, and then got into like stuff like that. The Hormozy books, things like that. I still don't read that much. I'm trying to read more, but I find myself when I do want to read, I'm like, let me actually read the Bible for a second.
Mhm.
Yo, weird though. Like my parents didn't read to me growing up.
Mine didn't either.
Dude, I
Mine
cannot.
never.
I just had this not call, but conversation with my wife. I was in the shower the other day, and I was like, yeah, I was like, my parents didn't read you. She goes, that makes me so sad.
Mhm.
She's
It's
like,
funny
I
you
used
say
to
that.
stay up and listen or read every day. I read every day, and I was like, couldn't tell you one book or one time my mother opened and read to me.
Yep. It's funny you say that because Grayson and I had our second baby shower last weekend, which was her side of the family, and we got like overall between the two baby showers, we got like 45 books, and I was like,
Wow.
this is something that I want to like actually, when he's old enough to kind of comprehend it a little bit, I want to sit down with him, like make it a nightly ritual to sit down and read. Because I never had that growing up. And like I read books and stuff in school, but my first actual real book that I read on my own when I was old enough, I think was like Phil Robertson's book from Duck Dynasty. And
I've read that. I've read it.
he wrote on it's a lot about religion and just the business and stuff like that. I read that, and then from there I like reading like self-improvement books. So I just told myself I haven't been reading a lot. So my issue is I'm ADD as crap, so I'll get into a book like a couple chapters and then I'll see a new book that catches my eye. Dude, I have a bookshelf at home that has all kinds of different books on them, but I told myself I was going to start reading again. So I'm right now I'm reading, I don't know where it's at. I think it's right here. But The Challenger Sale is a sales book. Um that and then yeah, I read Atomic Habits. I've
Oh,
read
I've read that.
Hormozy's books. I've read yeah, a few. But most of the time I don't like nonfiction or I don't like fictional stuff and like
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just a biography type of like, self-improvement like type of books that
Here's
I
an
like to read.
interesting concept to that.
Is my mic
So-
better now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
It
on
was
my
your
phone.
Wi-Fi that was like it was like you're cutting out while you were talking.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, it's probably because my girlfriend's on a call right now, and it's been taking a long time. My bad, boys.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you guys got out of what I just
No.
said.
You're good. So I have an interesting take on what you had to say right there, Taylor, is that people that read fiction, I think it is also a really great way to escape the day to day and
Yeah.
just relax.
Yeah.
Versus
I
when
agree.
you're constantly in self-improvement, you are in constant criticism on how you can be better. And then in fact, I think the remnants of constantly trying to be better actually doesn't allow you to become better.
I agree.
Because
I
it's
agree
like if you go to
1000%.
therapy and you say the same thing that happened to you as a child, you actually never get over it.
Yep.
Because you're every day, you're in it, living it, and it becomes your story. So for me, I found that I was like, man, I need a break from self-improvement, because like all I think is that I just need to improve.
Mhm.
It's like versus like, hey, like you're doing good or you are good.
Mhm.
So I find that really interesting. Is like, and also too, like make it a rule to yourself, because I'm the same way, Taylor. I will not open another book until I've completed the task that I'm on, because that's the discipline that that I have. Not because I don't want to switch, it's because no, that's not how we do this. That's not the discipline that I want to exude. Like finish the
It's
book, even though you're kind of over it.
It's very funny you say that actually. And this just kind of was a light bulb to me is I think the reason that I don't finish the books is because they are all business or self-improvement, and I'll find something in it. I'll read one thing that clicks, and I'm like, I need to go implement that right now. And then I never come back to it.
Yeah. I do find that when I read the Hormozy books, I bought that like 6K, whatever, and got the things. I would not read another book until I implemented the thing that I learned from the previous one. Otherwise, you become what I call as like a YouTube warrior, and you just learn, and do nothing.
Yep. Because at that point, like, knowledge isn't power. Knowledge with the practical application is power.
It's like that knowledge is just actually making you procrastinate.
Exactly.
And making you forget what you learned prior to the last
Yes.
thing that you learned, and then you don't ever actually implement it, and now you're skipping steps.
One thing that I've noticed with myself is when I read, what I was saying before my audio and my Wi-Fi cut out, it's fact. You comprehend so much better when you read. Okay. You comprehend, things stick. Like when I built her planter, I was like, wait, I remember my mom gifted me this gardening book last year, 2 years ago. And this gardening book was just because I was planting a bunch of potatoes. I don't know what it was for. And I'm like, I'm just going to build something off of a picture that I see in there. And I just figured it out. Own dimensions, my own cuts, made some wrong cuts, made some wrong dimensions, wrong measurements, whatever. Figured it out. And now I can literally look at what I built outside right now. And I know exactly how to replicate it because I didn't use instruction. I just looked. I was okay, that worked, that didn't work, et cetera. I read parts of the book when it comes to building things, et cetera. It worked. When I've tried to do things like learn from YouTube and audio content and video content, I'll implement it. But when I want to move on to the next thing, sometimes when I move on to the next thing, what I just implemented starts to fade away because it never fully sunk in. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's just something that I've noticed. If I only use video content to learn, and I don't fully comprehend and let it saturate and apply it in different areas, then sometimes when I go on to the next thing to learn, some things get trickled away. And for me, reading is one of those things where it just helps it solidify so much better.
It does. And studies show that as well.
Yeah.
I had kind of a self-realization. It might have been, it's funny we're having this conversation. I've been thinking a lot about all of these different things lately, but about like critical thinking and AI taking away from my critical thinking skills. And that's something that I think it was a Chris Williamson podcast I was watching about, and he's big on like critical thinking and having his brain healthy. Actually, it was the podcast Michael Smoke and Chris Williamson did. And I was thinking about it and I was like, I even find myself like when it comes to reading, for example, I even find myself telling AI to dumb things down and write it in shorter sentences and stuff like that so that I don't have to read as much. Like most times when AI gives me a response to something, I just skim through it and pick the parts I need, and I'm not even reading that. So
yes,
I have a question for you guys. It's like, what are some good ways that you, if you do, implement, like, how do we, as AI becomes a big thing and we start taking all these shortcuts and learning from video rather than reading and stuff like that, what are some ways of like practicing critical thinking? Or I mean, your brain's a muscle, right? Like it's going to grow the more that you strain it. So like, what are some kind of critical thinking practices or things like that you guys do to like, or know of people doing that like help strain that muscle and
I've got one.
Build on it?
For me, recently, within the past year, okay, I've made it a huge point because, like what you said, Taylor, is I've noticed it very, very soon after like ChatGPT came out. Okay, everybody ChatGPT in this, ChatGPT in that, blah blah blah. Like earlier today, I said if I've got time, I'm going to replace the rear shocks on the truck. Okay, I can go into ChatGPT and be like, can you replace the rear shocks on a truck without taking off the leaf springs on a 2006 Ram 35? Like that shit. And then it'll give me my answer. Instead of me just walking out 50 feet to my garage, crawling under my truck, looking at it and be like, okay, yep, I can do it. No, I cannot do it. I've made it such a point within my check-ins throughout the week or my responses that I don't use ChatGPT or AI. I don't and it makes it more work for me. Okay. With, this client asked this question, copy, paste, answer this how I would answer it. Because guess what? People fucking do that. And I'm not saying that's immoral, but for me, it's more so like I need to stay locked. If I can't figure something out, guess what? I've got Dom's blueprint that I can go boom, 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 run through things, read, comprehend, let it get fully saturated in my brain. That's just one thing that I've like made a pact with myself is like, Nick, you can get a lot of the answers at your fingertips, but there's zero application skills to those answers if you're just going to take the easy route. Go back to the thousands upon thousands of dollars that you've invested in, take the time needed to read, to apply, to take it a step further, to go into the case studies and figure out where it translates for yourself. And it helps me a ton. And honestly, I get up earlier because of it, because I know that there's going to be some extra steps throughout the day. If I come across something where it's like, oh shit, like this blood work is pretty messed up. Like I can't just throw this in ChatGPT because there's zero context. Everything's generalized. Like I need to take this multiple steps further, So it's like, that's just one thing that I do is like, you know what? You need to care about your clients enough that you don't use some bullshit AI answer from ChatGPT, and you need to go back to why you started this in the first place. Like go back to why you invested in some of these people because of how much you've learned from them, et cetera. That's just what helps me kind of stay on the narrow.
I think
But
for myself,
that's not saying AI is bad at all. Like I'm not trying to sound like that coach that is like never use AI, because guess what? It's very, very useful. So I don't want to come across like that charlatan.
For myself, I personally don't use AI for anything. So I don't use AI for the only time I'll use it would be like, help me write some copy from this copy.
Yeah.
Or you know what I use it for the most?
Your diet.
I need to get 42 carbs out of this cream of rice product. How many grams should I use? That's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's last year chat was like a summary. They're like, you keep asking how many grams of carbs are in 125 grams of rice or something like that. It was like
Yeah.
the same question like 17 times. And it was like, you really got an issue with how many carbs are in things.
That's funny.
But that's the only time I use it. So for myself, the one thing I do is I always look at things and try to like understand it or fix it by looking at it from a critical standpoint, because I've always been critical thinking. I was raised that way. I wasn't raised with just ask Google like you guys were, as far as just a generational thing. Because like I didn't use Google until I was like 18. And that's like, I remember people was like, I'd ask a question, they go, why don't you Google it? And I'm like, that's not my default to think that, right? So for me, it's like when I have calls with clients, what I normally do is I walk through what they've got going on. Cause like now part of our offer is like, hey, come to a workshop, you get 2 one-on-ones with me. And I just rip the business and like just provide as much value as I can on these 2 calls. So like we're coming in cold turkey. And so it's like, I'm sitting here like just my critical thinking is how do I get you to understand my message? Because my knowledge is useless if you can't get the aha moment. So for me, a lot of critical thinking is how do I deliver a message that is received? Because everybody receives it differently based on education, experience, and background. And so if I'm talking to Paul Romzik, I have to speak different than when I'm talking to Cindy Lou, who's brand new into coaching that has never read blood work. I'm saying the same thing, but I've got to say it differently. So for me, it's like just talking to people allows me to do so and actually makes me a lot smarter.
Yeah.
Because teaching makes you so much more smarter.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
even though that was really bad grammar sentence. So teaching in person is something that I've done so much of this year.
Yeah.
That's actually made me a lot more, I think, critical thinking and explaining things. And I feel like right now, when it comes to explaining and teaching, I feel so sharp, so
Yeah.
sharp. Just because I've had 60 people in person over the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Plus
And
the
that's because,
calls, plus the
bro,
business, and posting 6 times a day on Instagram. It's like speaking is how I feel like in critical thinking, because
yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to explain, but me doing more speaking allows me to do more critical thinking.
yes. And that's like, for me, it's like me knowing that I should take extra steps instead of using an AI that's going to have zero critical thinking makes me smarter, because then whenever I get asked a question, I can be sharp. I can be like, yup, got it. This is the answer. You know what I'm saying? The amount of times, dude, where that, like, this is not supposed to be like throwing a shot. Like, I'm not trying to be that person, but the amount of times where somebody else has told me, like, hey, man, I asked my coach this question and they said they'd get back to me. And then a couple hours later, they texted me this. And I said, that's AI. I'm like, that's fucking AI. It's because they didn't know the answer right off the bat. They decided to still get you the answer, but not for your exact scenario, and just chose to copy and paste an answer from ChatGPT. You know, it's like doing the hard stuff so that it becomes easy and it feels like it's not even hard anymore.
Yeah.
Good question.
I
Damn good question.
I was just thinking about it lately, and honestly, man, I found out AI is so powerful. Like you can't deny the power and the help that it brings to any business owner whatsoever. But I just find myself sometimes like, man, what happened to just actually going and looking up, or not even looking up, but like, let's be honest, most people aren't gonna fully, like, you can read everything in the world, you can look at all the research, you can look at all the ways of doing business, you can do all this shit, but if you don't implement it and do it time and time and time again, if you're not actually doing the thing, you're never ever ever gonna be good at it. Because Mike, you made a good point. Like, speaking is critical thinking, is how you do your critical thinking, because it is like, if you're teaching someone something, there's no, like, you can't not understand something and teach somebody something.
Right.
Like,
You can't ask in the middle of you teaching it.
no, like, for example, like, something clicked in my head when you said that is, I used to wrestle. Like, I grew up wrestling, started in 8th grade, and it just became like my entire life. But a lot of things within wrestling never really clicked for me until I went back to help after I graduated, or watched
Yeah.
wrestling after I graduated. A lot of things were like, damn, if I could take the instinct and the intuition that I have now from seeing it from an outside in perspective and teaching someone else how to do it, I would have been so much better.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing. Like, I don't know. It's just, it makes me think, like, another question I was thinking about the other day is like, how many more people are going to have Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever the case may be from our
It's insane.
generation when we're older, because of the TikTok brain rot, but because of AI practically being able to do anything and everything that you want it to do, and never having to exercise your brain.
Well, take it
Yeah.
a step further. Studies show that this generation, Gen Z, like, is dumber for the first time in the history of the world to the previous generation.
Oh, Mike,
Believe it.
Taylor was on that episode when we talked about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so basically what it is that people, as you already said it, right, Taylor, you proved the point, is that you skim and you don't read. And
Mhm.
so technology in the education system is the reason why kids are dumb.
Yep.
It
Yep.
removes all critical thinking. You just ask it the question. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to figure out math. You don't have to figure out this. You don't have to figure out that. And it's like me asking it to write the copy is making me dumb, because it's not me thinking about how to write the copy.
Mhm.
Right. And that's one little bitty example. But it's like, I'm not doing the math on the cream of rice. That is making me dumber.
Yeah.
And I also don't remember, keep asking the same questions, because I didn't critically think it out to where I would then have to use pen and paper or like talk it out loud, and I would remember it because I had to walk through it.
Yes.
So because technology, period, like a screen period, forget AI, a screen period has already made a generation dumber than the one before it.
Yep.
Now with AI, jeez, man.
Something that I kind of noticed, that I try not to get irritated with. It doesn't take me a lot. It takes a lot for me to get truly irritated, but I get irritations and like some minor frustrations in my head that come and they go quickly because I know not to attach a whole lot to it. When I tell somebody something like a story, or I try to apply something to their question, and they have to ask it multiple times down the road, or I tell them a story and they don't even fucking listen because within the first 3 seconds, they're automatically checked out. If it's not, there's no dopamine to the story, bro, the amount of people, it's so concerning to me. The amount of people where you say something to them, it goes in one ear, out the other, and there is zero comprehension and they don't even know what you just said. Bro, it's like, it's genuinely concerning to me. And guess what? One of my very close friends struggles with it really bad. And he knows he struggles with it. And I'm like, dude, I want to help you, but like, I sometimes don't want to tell you certain stories or events or teach you things because it's not worth my time, because you'll just ask me the same thing again. And I tell you a story and I'm excited to tell you a story about something that happened in my life. And then you literally just look at me with a blank stare because you're mentally checked out. Bro, that's your issue. Like, it actually concerns me coming from a friend. And I told him that this week. And I'm like, dude, you need to work on that, man. Coming from somebody that loves you, like, that's not good because it's making me not even want to talk to you because you're becoming so fucking dumb. Like, that's straight up, dude. And I'm not trying to sound harsh, but it is what it is, bro. Because if you love somebody, you're gonna tell them the hard truth. And I think it's coming from a lot of it is coming from technology. It really is.
For sure.
For sure.
I don't think there's anything wrong with telling somebody the truth. Ephesians 4, truth and love. Because I love you, I'll tell you the truth. And I tell you the truth because I love you.
Yeah. Bro, it's just really concerning to me, man, that people that our generation is supposed to be leading the way for the generations behind us is not even able to listen to a sentence that's, gonna take longer than 30 seconds for me to speak. Like, it's fucking, it's real. It genuinely, I'm like, dude, like, all the time too, when I'm on the road, the amount of times people are on their phones, it fucking scares me because people cannot put their phone down. They are always on their phone. And it's like, wow, this is like, there's a lot of good. There's so much more good than bad in the world, but there's a lot of things that I can't turn a blind eye to.
Yeah.
It's
Honestly,
interesting
everything
because
we
I'm like, I'm this thought process of like Neuralink. I'm like, yeah, plug me in, baby. Like, I never want to have to think to go on my phone and click again. Just compute that.
I get it.
Compute that. Just give it to me.
It's everything we've talked about is like what I'm most excited about with having a kid. Like, obviously the
Yes.
unconditional love and everything, but like being able to like raise someone who's raised the right way, and like obviously,
Bro, it's gonna be an
AI and
uphill
everything
battle.
is yeah, it is.
It's gonna be an uphill
It is.
battle.
But like I was raised by my grandpa, right? So like a lot of the traits and things that I have are not raised by my grandpa, but like he was the
Sure.
main guy, the main father figure for me. And like a lot of the things that I've learned is like, oh, you want to fix something? Well, go fucking start doing it and figure out how to fix it. Like you wanna learn how to cook? Well, cook 100 steaks and then you'll probably get good at cooking. So it's like I wanna, in the world of AI and stuff like that, like I can't wait to raise my son to do those things and like read him books and make him read books and play sports,
Yeah.
play outside, that type of thing.
I don't
You want
think
to know what
there's.
I'm excited for? Oh, sorry, Mike.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you said about the reading the books part. When I have my first kid, I'm excited to read a book with my kid, and then afterwards, if there's like a movie associated, watch the movie after.
Yeah.
Read the book first, then watch the movie. Read the book first, then watch the movie. You know, because that's what
Never
I
in
did
my
with my
life
dad.
have I done that.
Oh, that's funny.
I hear people talk about all the time, books way better. I'm like, hey, but I just watched that in 2.5 hours, and that was good enough for me.
Oh my God, the irony behind what you just said with what we're
I
talking
know,
about. Is
right? I
hilarious.
know, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, it can't be that much better to where it's going to take me 2.5 weeks. Come on now, give me 2.5 hours. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
New York Pro.
Yeah. Dude, shout out to my boy Jacoby.
Yeah.
Open and 212 Olympia quals winners.
Oh, because Mike Condell.
Mike Condell, Antonio. He had, I don't know that it's ever been done before. I think Chris Tuttle posted that he doesn't know that anyone has ever won the 212 and the open title at the New York Pro in the same show as a coach.
Trying to think. Matt didn't have anybody in 212. Wait, no. Wait, did Sean Clarita ever win that with Nick Walker? I don't think so.
No, not with Nick Walker. He definitely didn't, because that was when
No.
he's been top 5.
Yeah,
you're
so
right.
I was at the show. I had a booth and everything. First time I've been to the New York Pro. First, actually, I think like real big pro show I've been to and actually watched some of that has that many like names at it, right? So obviously we did the Arnold, but like I didn't go watch and see any of it. But I'm like walking around and I'm like, some people I know, like Juan Morel, I know he showed up. OG Guy Cisternino showed up. Know him. Sadiq, I know him on personal levels. And then you see it's like, wait, that's George Farah. Wait, that's Chris Aceto. Wait. And you're just like, wow, just like pointing out people, right?
Yep.
And to see some of those people on stage was like pretty gnarly. Like,
Yeah.
you see it on the internet and then you see it in person, and you're like, yo, that's a physique.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
To see who did I get to see on stage? I saw the open. I didn't really watch the 212. Classic, watch that. Diego, dude, his posing in person during his like solo was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this guy is an artist up here.
Yeah.
Diego got 6th or 5th at the Olympia.
I can't remember.
Not sure.
But
Dude, he looked crazy. And then obviously that pose for the favorite classic was kind of, it was cool. I just don't know that it stacks up against everybody else when all of a sudden you look literally half everybody's size. It's
This
definitely
is my take on it. This is my take on that pose. We had Fuad on our podcast on Sunday, and we went over the New York Pro, and he asked me like what my take was on it. I think it's such a beautiful pose, but when you are already a shorter guy and you make yourself look smaller next to a guy that's very overpowering tall, it literally kind of, the judges look at it, wow, beauty. They're like, wow, that's a beautiful pose. But automatically my eyes just go up. You know, they just shoot up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a beautiful pose for the favorite classic, but I still don't think it's a winning pose compared to Nile.
Sure.
Niall was a little off in my opinion.
Yeah, he was.
They
were
both a little off.
Yeah.
They're both, I think, were just a tad flat. Tyler even said that as well. Not obviously at the show, but afterwards. Which I've also come to learn from talking to so many people at Tyler, like if you don't come in full, he's docking it.
Yep.
He'll take a guy that's slightly spilled over somebody that's flat.
Yeah, whereas Sandy loves the conditioning and the dryness.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, who's the head judge of North Americans?
I think it's usually Sandy.
Sandy or Bill?
Or Bill, yeah.
Yeah.
What's Bill like?
Oh, Bill's a fucking stickler sometimes, bro.
Yeah. I think Bill's hard to read in my opinion. Like,
yeah, there's There's
kind of
some
don't know
calls
what
that
he
I
wants.
definitely don't agree with Bill, but it's not because my athlete should have placed higher. It's because there's some calls where I'm like, you know what? I don't think that's more of a complete physique than the other guy. And that also, I know people, judges that have judged with Bill that are like, they've openly talked at the judging table, like, hey, Bill, like, let's take a look at that again. You know, again, some other judges disagree with him on some of his calls. Sometimes he goes for more of a, in my opinion, sometimes Bill goes for more condition one week, more size the next, a balance. It's not really a stick with the it's not a consistent criteria type thing for me. Like, that's just my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, but that's just what I've seen for years of having people in shows where he's head judge.
Great.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's will be interesting getting ready for this show. I'm planning on doing the open as well. Obviously, we're gonna bring whatever, but I go back and look at the national photos and that you took on your phone, Taylor, and I'm like, bro, I was like, because I look at myself now and I look at this and I go, bro, I feel like I was nails.
Yeah, you were nasty. I was looking at them the other day too, and I was like, wow. Like those videos that I took backstage, I think it might have been backstage at the Illinois show, but I was like, wow, that was good.
It's funny because when you're backstage, like, I think I look like trash. I know I don't, but I like when you see the just terrible lighting, it's like because your lights,
Well, even from a
like
coach's
20 feet in the air.
Yeah, even from a coach's perspective, right? Like you're so dialed in and looking at the littlest, like the most minor critiques that you can possibly formulate in your brain. And it's like, like what can we do better? What can we make better? And then it's like you look back, like in a time like now, and it's like, bro, that was so good. Why? Like, but also
I feel like I look
throughout.
To me, I looked better. I look back 6 months later and I go, man, I felt like I'm happier now than I was then with the package.
Yeah. And it's like another thing from a coach's perspective is like, I looked at you how many times throughout peak week posing, and it's like, it becomes like one of those things when you look at yourself in the
you're
mirror
like,
every
but we
day,
still
you
got
don't.
this. We still got that. You still got this.
Yeah.
Cam was here yesterday for his second VIP, and we were talking about it, and he goes, I think that was Taylor's best peak ever.
I would have to agree with that, to be honest.
I totally agree.
He was like, that was the best I've seen Taylor ever do.
Yeah, that was. I have to agree with that.
It was a lot of fun, so I'm hoping to run it back. Which obviously we will, but I got to get through this hike first.
When is that? Next week or the week after?
It's we leave on the 28th, so in 2 weeks I leave, and then we hike the 31st through the 6th. I come back the 7th. So when I get back, we're like 12 weeks out.
Hell yeah, dude.
We might be like 11 and a half, actually. I don't even know. Because let's say I'm 16 yesterday, so 15, 14, 13, 12. Yeah, I'll be 12 and a half.
You'll be good. Just bring the trend in early.
It's go time.
Yeah. He's already, dude, he's lost 8 pounds.
I know, that's crazy.
Well, it's funny because I think about it 3 weeks ago in the evening, 252. Last night, 232.
Yeah, it's wild. What was your weight this morning?
230, down 2 pounds from yesterday, 6 from 7 days ago.
That's awesome.
Is it?
It's awesome for the sake of shorter
like,
preps.
I worked out today and I go, damn, I feel so flat. I can't even get a pump, I feel like. And Cam was like, yeah, dude. He's like, starting prep's the worst. He's like, you're flat and fat.
It is the worst. I told someone the other day, like that 8 to 12 week out mark sucks because like you're not lean enough yet to be like, wow, I look good, but also you're flat because you're digging you're digging, and it's like, fuck, this is the worst spot ever. So like inside of 4 weeks out, and then like, I don't know, like 10 to 12 weeks out is usually my favorite like or either 4 weeks out is like my favorite time of prep.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's like that. It's that 6 to 4 mark, you know, and then that's when I really feel, I look at myself and I may feel like shit, but I look at myself, I'm like, oof, this is looking nasty. And then you get to like 3 weeks out and then you start to dial in electrolytes and stuff. And you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah. It's when
That's
the
fun.
veins start popping everywhere and you do take a nap and wake up and there's veins everywhere.
The best, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Bro, I was hitting
interesting.
men's physique poses the other day because I had a guy compete last weekend. Yeah, it
I
was
asked
awesome.
Cam, I was like, when's he competing again? When you
What'd he say?
competing, Nick?
What did
He's
Cam
like,
say?
he was like, probably like mid 2028.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yep.
he just got to continue to grow, continue to
Yep.
grow, continue to grow. I was like, can you classic? He's like, no. He's like, he's way past that. He goes, it's just like
hilarious,
at the
bro.
pro level in the open. He's like, you just have to be huge.
Yeah, you just got to be big. And that's what I was talking to Fouad about when he was on our podcast. He's like, when the hell are you going to compete again? And I said, well, dude, like everybody forgets that it's like, it's not even everybody forgets. It's for me. I'm so grateful that I've been around such huge names in the industries from a very young age. Sampson, Nick Walker, Justin Shire, Ben Chow, Fouad, like multiple other people. And like actually spent quality time around them and like can call some of these guys my friends. And I never compare myself like, oh, I've got to get as big as Samson. It's more so like, because that's a delusion. That's a delusion that if I say that. It's more so, you know what? I've been around these guys so much where it makes me realize the gaps in my armor, not from a physique perspective, but from an execution perspective. Like, you know what? That's how they operate. I got to start operating on a different level because I know my training's there. My diet adherence is there. My not missing shots is there. Everything's there. But being around those guys exposes so many good things for me. Like, you know what? That's a chink in my armor. I got to figure out with how I operate my day. That's going to make me a better athlete. And that's just like, I've got to keep nailing every freaking fundamental. And that's going to make that mid 2028 come so much quicker for me because I'm looking at it as not just a size thing, but I'm looking at it as like, okay, Nick, you just got to keep living the lifestyle. You got to keep improving and leveling up the lifestyle of being a pro bodybuilder. That's where my mind is at, man. And I'm totally down to compete in 2028. Like that's, if I got to wait till then, because I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to be 300 pounds lean or I'm going to be 330. It is what it is. It's not about a weight for me at this point. Like I pulled myself off cycle when I moved because I was just so damn busy. And that's when the competition season started to ramp up as well. And I'm like, my weight has only gone down 3 pounds, you know? And I'm like, I was on a gram of freaking test too. So I'm at that point where I really like, I don't ever want to, I don't know. I had this, I don't really even want to get into it because I'll just go down a rabbit hole because I had the conversation last night, but I'm very, very at ease with like taking the time to grow, not because I'm not ready mentally or physically, but because it's going to be that much more fulfilling once I get on stage. And I'm like, you know what? I did this shit and I didn't just get on stage to get on stage. You know, it's just the love for it for me.
Let me ask you a question because I really wouldn't know because I'm out the game. Based on just how you competed 20 weeks from now, how much better or would we be? I don't mean this in any insulting way. To like, could you go win bodybuilding at a national, let's say national show right now in the open class? Like, are you pro national level or like winning nationals, or are we still trying to get there, then go to the pro side of it? Because obviously, like we didn't win as a bodybuilder, right? So we have to grow to that level and then surpass that level.
I'm thinking pose for pose.
You got a hard road, right? You got to grow 100 pounds.
Yeah. And I'm thinking pose for pose when I answer this. I think yes, in a majority of poses, but some poses, no. Like
Cool. What poses you think you lose on?
my back poses.
which I think is like
100%.
that's where all the real muscle lives, right? All the
Yep. Like,
years and years of tissue. It's so
I'm
hard to
wide.
bring up your back, dude.
Yeah.
It
I'm
is.
wide, I'm detailed, but I don't have that thickness yet. I've got my legs are wide from the back, but I still need my glutes need to be more balanced. My side poses are really damn good. My front poses are really damn good, but my back poses are definitely not pro winning yet. I think if I compete in 20 weeks, like, dude, when I turned pro, the lowest weigh in on peak week was 213. I'm still 290 right now with abs and obliques, like if I did super heavyweights at a national show, I'm not trying to gas myself up, but I'm very confident that I would win. And that's because I've become so much more balanced in the past year and a half than I've ever been in my entire life. Like I look at
You think you
my
step on
back
stage
is
around like 250?
probably more.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so
Well, I mean, dude,
big.
I've got obliques right now. My glutes just standing there are square. Like my hamstrings are striated. Like I'm pretty fucking lean at 290.
That's crazy.
And the thing is,
For
like, I
250,
know
I wanted to shoot myself. I felt so bad.
it's one thing to say it. It's one thing to say it because I don't post my physique a lot. And it's not, I don't not post my physique because I'm afraid to show it. It's not that at all. It's just like not my personal brand as a coach, but also like, I don't really feel the need to show anybody my physique. Like when I hit a pose before I get in the shower, like, bro, before I got on the podcast, I was taking a shower. And I was literally going through rounds in my bathroom and I'm like, bro, I'm getting fucking big. And I'm looking at myself. I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is actually pretty damn exciting.
So I'm going to counter that and say, I think you should work out more in tank tops, less baggy shit. I think you need to post more content about being the big dude because that's who you are. And if you don't lean into it, then you're not going to get views from strangers and go, damn, I want to look like that.
Fuck, you're right. You're right.
Like if you can if you like show the body to match the voice, baby, let's go.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're very true, bro.
You got a bold
honestly,
voice. Let's show them biceps, baby.
You're right. No, dude, you're 100% right. And to be honest, the only, like, I don't even have a rebuttal for it besides I like it literally besides like when I train, I like to, like, this is coming from somebody that sweats 24/7. Like, I like to stay warm. Like, if I'm in a stringer, I'll get cold. And I like to stay warm because it makes me feel safe when I'm training. And when I wear baggy stuff, I just like looking big as fucking baggy clothes. Like, if you can look big in a 5XL shirt, then you're a big motherfucker. Like, let's be real.
I've never looked at somebody in a 5X shirt and go, damn, they look shredded. I want to look like that.
Yeah, but you say they look big.
A guy with a tank top with a shoulder vein going to the bicep. I'm like, let's go, Big Daddy. That's awesome.
I will say I've kind of leaned into it though recently, Mike, because I've been doing more TikTok lives, and I'm never on TikTok, bro. Like I don't do TikTok. I literally just
TikTok
started
live with a tank top on. All of a sudden, views just skyrocket.
Bro,
Welcome to marketing.
Crazy. It's crazy, dude. I literally did a TikTok
crazy.
one night.
It's common sense. If a girl's on there with the tits out, people are gonna watch.
That's a good point. You're so right. You're so right. But for me, dude, like me not being on TikTok, like I literally just started seeing you tag me in the videos that you've been posting on TikTok. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, I don't even think I follow Mike. I got to follow Mike. But anyway, I did a TikTok live and I just had a hoodie on. I was getting a couple hundred viewers into it. The next night, I did another TikTok live and I had a cutoff on and my shoulders were just veined the fuck out. And then I had like 700, 800 people in there consistently. And it's just like, I was like, wow, like this, I do bring in that aura.
Dude, I gotta do that every day. Every day. Like, here's the thing is like, I think that people have to use what they have to their advantage.
Yeah.
Because it's like, girls do it. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
it's like, I view it like this is like, if you want to attract the masses, we have to become different.
Yeah.
And to me, like when I see bodybuilders or open guys and they wear the big stuff, it's like they don't have the allure to anybody outside somebody that is really big in the bodybuilding. When a guy walks down the street in a tank top and he's got 22-inch arms, you're like, what the right? But if you had on a big coat, you don't say nothing.
Yeah, true.
And it's just like, I think you have to use that to your advantage. It's like with the girl with red hair is always going to get a look to her because it's just different.
Yeah.
So I think to stand out, and I think that's, I don't know, dude. I would be tough for me not to make a piece of content in a tank top if I was in a situation. That's like, that's why I don't wear baggy stuff at all. Because I like always want to look in shape. I want somebody, I want you to see my traps and my lats through my shirt.
Yeah.
Like that's just what I want.
I don't know, man.
For me, it's the attraction of the respect that comes with it. Otherwise,
I don't know what it is.
Is he fat? I don't know. I can't tell because he's wearing a 4X shirt.
I just don't know like what it is. Like I'll wear tank tops to the gym every time I go. Okay, like, but sometimes I just won't take my hoodie off or my pump cover off.
And I'm not saying you have to work out like that, but I'm saying if you want to say something to the camera, rip that thing off and rip.
Yeah. And like I don't know why I don't. Like I'm genuinely trying to think now that we're talking about this. I'm like, why haven't you done more of that? And it's because maybe actually, I just thought of this. Maybe it's because I'm so confident in the message that I'm trying to state.
It's 100% it is. You don't think,
okay.
You think it's all about the message itself. However, from my point of view, the first 3 seconds, the message hasn't come across yet. And so if the muscles get the attention, then the message follows through with the rest of the reel. So to me, it's just the hook of it. He's like, how many things you see gone viral when somebody's in a sweatshirt? Freaking zero.
Not many.
Also, how many people are your size, Nick, that are also smart? like, let's be honest. Like, I mean, from a coach's perspective, like, how many people are your size that actually understand coaching and bodybuilding and everything at the level you do? So, like, the message can deliver, but like, most people aren't expecting someone with your size to deliver that message. So it just adds more credibility and more value to it as well.
I can say the same thing from the business perspective, right? It's like there's not many bodybuilders that are in the business side of it or business guys that do bodybuilding. And so for me, I've had plenty of people that are like, dude, you need to do all your stuff talking in the tank top, in the gym, which is why I'm now doing business content in the gym because it gets more respect and more eyeballs because not only does like the message fit the part, but the look does too.
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's something too. Like I've got to lean
like in this space. I said, and his ideal client is in this space. Like they're coaches, they're in the gym.
I can give you an example of somebody that's smart and big, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, I need to do more than he's doing."
Yeah, true. And the thing is, like, that's
J3.
I've probably told you guys this many times. Like, it was always my goal. Like when I got into coaching, dude, it was before I was ever a pro. It was my goal to be a pro level coach before I was a pro myself. And as I was a pro, continue cranking out pros. So it's like, because one of the things that I saw was there's all these pro level coaches out there that get people unhealthy as fuck. They don't know what they're talking about. They're only coaching people how they've been coached themselves, which can be a huge detriment to their clients, etc. So it's like, I do have to lean into that of leaning into like, yo, I may be big as fuck, but I'm way smarter than you.
So to me, it's like, if I want to get my message across, I got to get the attention first. And so it's, what am I wearing? What is the setting? What am I doing with my hands? That's why you see so much content now to where it's like somebody's in the kitchen doing something. It's a visual thing to keep me, because I'm not just looking at you speaking. I'm also looking at the surroundings and what you got going on. And that's why that content always does better than you just sitting there staring directly at camera with nothing. It's like, at least in the car, there is depth to the photo that you're looking at the seat, you're looking at what's behind it, etc. So to me, I think it's just one more thing to add to the, or you would just get more views.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
It's a business play, period. Like anything other than that. And I'm going to say it's an ego thing. It's just, hey man, I got big arms. I'm going to use them.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's so true.
It's no different than somebody had the Lambo and they make a piece of content in front of it. Like,
that's so true. All right, dude, I got to start doing more of it. You're going to see more of it from me.
Oh.
Bro. Dude, Paula was, yeah. Dude, we literally, so we were just like going through her Instagram on the podcast, and like our producer made a clip of it because we were like, holy shit, this girl is crazy. She was DMing Devo on the podcast page, and she was like really grateful for just like us covering her. And she said, and she showed me the message. She's like, it's so cool getting this feedback from you guys, especially from men, and not being told I'm ugly or gross again. And I'm like, bro, it hit. I'm like, holy fuck, that's kind of sad. But at the end of the day, I'm like, bro, these I have so much respect for female bodybuilders, dude. Like, so much fucking respect. Not only do you gotta hurt to look the way that she looked on stage, you gotta be hurting bad, okay, in prep. But dude, like, you honestly debatably have more dedication than some of the guys at that level.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, yep.
Rizzo.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
I kind of Krizo's demeanor is similar to like a Nasser's demeanor. When you see old videos of Nasser and he's like getting interviewed, they're like, what do you think you're going to have to weigh on stage to beat so-and-so? And he's like, I don't care about beating so-and-so. I just want to get on stage. Or he'll say, nope, I don't want to answer that question. It's irrelevant. It's like, dude, nowadays you have to build a personal brand if you want to succeed.
It's like
Not because judges
Marshawn.
care about it, but like, yo, give your fans some fucking attention.
It's like Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's insane, bro. That's crazy. People don't understand business.
Nope.
To be honest, like that's all that's what that is branding and business, and you suck at it. Ugh. Yes,
Oh,
so good, bro. That's why his Instagram is the way it is. That's funny. That's funny.
that's lit.
Insane.
Yeah.
They're so big.
Bro, these girls don't realize what it takes. Yep.
Business.
Smart, dude. It's smart. They finally changed some things up like that. Well, it makes sense though because New York Pro is Steve's show, and same thing with NPC Universe. That's Steve's show. NPC Universe is across 3 days now, and they didn't do that last year or the year before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy,
Oh,
dude. Yeah, and especially because it's Steve's show, and there's a prestige behind the New York Pro. So people want to travel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That was sick. I didn't see any of the amateur guys. How'd they look? Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I feel like people just don't want to go to those regional shows that have the big pro shows with them because they're like, it's
Yeah.
so about the pro show that it's just like you don't get your time. Yeah, I think so too.
Well, did you see that guy
Yeah.
that competed in Open? He won nationals last year. He won the bodybuilding nationals. He competed at the New York Pro. He was that black dude that had a crazy super. Yes, he was. Yep. Yeah, dude, insane. Oh,
Yeah.
yep. I know what you mean. But boys, we've been on for almost 2 hours now. I've got to finish some work for the day.
Yes, sir.
And dude, this was one hell of a podcast, boys. I mean, I hope
was.
everybody listening enjoyed it. I liked everything we covered. We finally had Taylor on for a full episode, which was awesome. So thanks, brother. And I mean that. I'm not trying to joke
No,
around.
I
Like,
know.
I mean that.
I know.
We love having you on, dude. So yeah, honestly, boys, I appreciate it. I'll see you next week. Everybody listening, like, comment, share, subscribe. Support us. Use our codes. Go get some TRT from Taylor's company. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.
We can make it happen.
That'd be awesome.